Gang, welcome back. I was gonna be out in the shop like a weekend warrior, and that did not happen because I was under the weather big time. Because I had a terrible cold, but now I feel great, but my voice and the cough and all of that is just catching up with me. So it's gonna be great. The project at hand for this is going to be floating shelves. So I'm gonna use walnut. I've never built floating shelves, so let's do it. All right, so we gotta pick some lumber out. Like any good project, I don't think I have what I'm looking for. I don't think I have enough for these 4 shelves with that, and I want them all to kind of match. This is about 7 inches wide, but that's not enough. So we gotta go to the racks. How do you fit everything into your shop? I do not. I can't even walk around that truck. All right, well, we go, oh, hold on, oh, nope. I found a beautiful, very wide board. Looks like walnut. Look at that, it's a mean trick. Do not be fooled. Look at the end grain. That is maple. All right, back to the drawing board. We are gonna use these. It starts to get pretty matchy down here. These are gonna work great. This kind of stuff where it's the sapwood here and it doesn't match up on this panel, that does not matter. Nobody cares. I use reclaimed lumber wherever possible. Build site that was getting rid of them. Can you imagine that? I don't know if they do that anymore, but just throwing it out. There's so much out there to reclaim. So I've got my plans here. If I do a cut list of 7 inches, I'll need, let me start roughing this out. So we're gonna need some more wood. Found another, I thought I was being tricked again that this was another piece of stained maple. Look at that, beautiful walnut. This is about 4 inches. That's gonna be perfect for the sides. Right, we got our pieces all marked up. Fronts. All these, all right, we got our cut list. We're ready to go. And then I just realized we got a cabinet and some casters and some, looks like 3 giant pallets. If your shop doesn't look like this, are you really building anything? All right, have the shop cleaned up. Got rid of those pallets. It's for another project, little teaser. And things are cleaned up in here. I got my miter saw station. I didn't have it exactly even. It wasn't exactly flush, and that was bothering me. And so while I was cleaning up, I had to rebuild this and then build this, so it's even more dialed in here. Can you believe it? So let's make some sawdust. So these were cut about 7 1/16 inch. So I could set my table saw and measure, or I could use this as a setup block. If you can slide it through without bending the blade, there you go. No measuring. This will make a perfect cutting board. All right, so you can kind of see it coming together. Box construction. portion. The top is the front, these sides, but we're gonna miter these corners. All right, sorry about that, my camera died. I know what you're thinking. I've cut all these down to size, and if I'm gonna miter these corners, why didn't I miter them first? I cut them at 90 degrees when, you know, I miter these at... The answer is, this is the way I did it, this is the way my brain works, and I'm gonna miter off the edges now that I've cut it to size. We'll see how it goes. A great little tool for measuring specific angles is one of these digital angle finders. It's got magnets on the bottom. So all you do is you set it on the tabletop at 0. Now it's at 0. And then I click it on my table saw, change the angle of the saw blade. All right. Now we know that is a 45-degree angle. Back to work. So I know that you saw me putting the board through the table saw with the short side against the fence. I agree, it's not the smartest thing in the world, but I had a real beefy 12-inch side. Mind your own business. And it worked great. But with these shorter boards here, this isn't gonna work to use this as a reference against the fence. I'm just gonna use this dogger. I've got my reference cuts for 45 degrees so that it doesn't catch on me as I'm moving through it. Since these are delicate cuts, I am going to wax up the channel, and then the rest of I use just regular paste wax. The paste wax is great because on these cast iron tops, which do rust, and it's total pain in the butt to get the rust off of them, the more paste wax you throw on it, the less rust you'll ever have. So it serves two purposes. I'm gonna put a stop block right up against that kerf. When it's referenced exactly right there, I decided to put a stop block on there so that when I flip it, I'll get an exact match on the other side and repeatable cuts for the rest of those. I'm using the gripper, not sponsored, but this thing is dope. So how this works is you can set it so this is squeezing it up against the fence. You set it to the depth of your piece and it keeps your fingers safe. Keep all 10. We have our pieces cut to size, and I gotta say, it turned out pretty nice. So this is just balanced together. How those miters fit. I told you it was balanced. So let's glue this thing up. We are going to attempt the tape and fold over gluing method of miters. I've never done this before. So in full disclosure, once that is all taped up, then I'm gonna place the front onto it and tape that in separately, let that dry, and then reassess and decide, do we want to try that on the other boxes too? We shall see. I'm impressed. I had seen a number of makers utilize the tape method, lovingly referred to as the tape method, and it worked out really well. Those seams are invisible. Couple gaps, this one right here, but I'll show you a tip later. That's why you save your sawdust. This is walnut, and you mix this in with glue, and that is a perfect wood filler to match the wood. As my friend Jimmy DiResta would say, done is better than perfect. That was some advice that he gave me recently in a Merry Christmas video to me. I feel unbelievably lucky to have my woodworking hero, Jimmy DiResta, the legend. And so, Jimmy, this video's for you. I know you don't care much about floating shelves, but wish you a Merry Christmas as well. And thank you for everything that you do for the community.
Merry Christmas, Jimmy DiResta.
Hey Mike, this is Jimmy DiResta. I just want to say congratulations and Merry Christmas. I heard you started a YouTube channel. Congratulations on your channel. I see here it's called 10,000 Makes. And I'm going to go follow you right now. Just keep making. Done is better than perfect. Try and remember that.
What's up, team? Probably going to take this tape off and then scrape it and then sand it. But won't be sanding it until tomorrow because it is midnight and I am going to sleep. So we gotta fill the gaps with this glue and sawdust concoction. So I think I'm gonna do initial sanding, get it to kind of where I want it, then fill the gaps, then do final sanding. I'm just making it up as I go, so let's try something. I'll get this set up with my vacuum. You don't want to see me sand all 4 of these. Even if I'm speeding it up, that's a waste of your time to watch. You get it. It's looking really nice. I am going to mix up that glue for the wood filler. You can see that? It's a pretty sizable gap. It's about 1/32. Oh, what? 1/32? But you can see it. You can see it from the road. And then the rest of these seams are invisible. So, the consistency that you want. A little bit runnier than regular wood filler. Wood filler to me is always, it gets too dried out. As my daughter would say when she was a baby, I can't like it. I can't like it. It's not rocket surgery. And we're ready for final sanding. So let's start sanding this stuff off. Here's what they look like right now. Kind of a mess. They look great. Everything turned out perfectly. I mean, done. Everything turned out done. When I opened my cabinet here, I look at that, open it up, and it's this stuff that was like on sale at Menards or something, and so it's looking me right in the face, and that's fate. I haven't used it yet. So, did a quick test, project within a project. 2 slats of the same wood from my scraps, and you can't even tell the difference, except for this is a little warmer. This looks a little dusty, and it gives a little bit warmer finish. Anyway, it was easier to apply than polyurethane would have been. You can just brush it on, you wait 10 minutes, and then you buff it out. We're gonna go with that route. hard finish, soft luster. That's what they tout. And I kept trying to buff it out, and then it sort of perspirated that oil back out overnight, and now that is just hardened on there. So there's a few spots like that, and here it got real bad over here. You see all that? Sort of builds up that oil and then kind of pushes out. It's worse on that sapwood there. I was thinking a lot about it. It says on the actual packaging, it says to just reapply this and use that to buff out any hardened varnish. That didn't work at all. Mineral spirits, that didn't work. And I'm so happy I started the theme of this video as done is better than perfect, because or else I would be stuck on this. I'd keep spinning my wheels. I'd probably resand it and probably redo it. What I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna put that one up high so that you can't even see the top anyway. So what do we care? We're gonna position them for the client. Hi, honey. And the next part of the project is to build the cleats that will fit into the back of this. So this is going to slide onto the cleats on the wall, and then we're gonna nail those into place. I found exactly four, no more, no less, of these giant 4-inch legs. They are star head screws. Some washers here on the end so that it doesn't strip through that soft pine on this side of it. With one screw, this thing could twist. It's gonna pivot on that one screw. So to stop that lateral movement, I'm gonna use some double stick tape. And the strongest in the business is this stuff. I picked it up one time on a whim. It's insane. I don't recommend sticking anything with it unless you never want it to release ever again. It is the strongest tape known to man. So there you have it. Look at the amount of snow coming down today. Welcome to Minnesota. Beautiful. So this is where I'm going to put the floating shelves. There's only one stud behind each of these, right? Which is okay. They're not going to be holding a ton of weight. That is a wrap. We got these things up, they're level, they're beautiful, they're floating. Life is good. Done is better than good enough, and is better than not done. What are they called? You know, I spent all that time. I was gonna try to give you my stern dad face. What did you do? Your first cut. You cut the other side. What are you thinking, son? That's my positive self-talk.